Hi everyone, I am Shane Thorpe and I'd like to welcome you to how to sell your Weber or Davis County home for top dollar without getting trapped by the 7 common seller mistakes that literally steal equity out of your pocket. And the reason I've done this is because I've found that a lot of people are getting ready to sell their homes, and there are things that are maybe top of mind on your list and maybe on the honeydew list or on the things that you've wanted to do for a really long time, but when it really comes down to it, they may not be on a buyer's list, and some of the things that are on a buyer's list are not even on your radar. So what we want to do is just kind of talk about some of these things and kind of give you guys some education on the kind of opportunities and things that you can do to improve your home and get it ready so you can sell it for top dollar. Right now in the marketplace, the homes are selling for above asking price a lot of times if it is presented and positioned properly. So my goal here today is really to give you a little bit of an education, kind of explain to you how you can actually get more money out of your home and stage it properly. We have, in the last 3 transactions we had one that was $319,000. It sold for $329,000. We did stage it properly. We had one that was a smaller home that was down in Ogden, and frankly we were a little bit concerned about whether or not we'd be able to get as much as we hoped. We were shooting for hoping for 164.9. We actually listed it for 169.9 and sold it for 174.9 because of some of these tricks and things that we put together. And another one that just recently sold in Farmington, the buyer that bought this townhome had actually offered on 3 other homes. The homes did not appraise, and they had actually offered more than the asking price. We went in, we did some of these strategies and techniques and listed the home for $239,900. It did sell for $250,000, and the appraisal did come through. So these are kind of some of the things I want to share with you: what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why these things work. And what the real difference is that I've been doing this a really long time. I've worked with hundreds of sellers and buyers over the years, and these are just things that people are gravitating towards and what they're seeing and what really makes your house pop. And it's a lot different than where traditional real estate falls. And in today's market, you can get really a top dollar or better than asking price offer on your home. And it's really an exciting time. What you're going to discover in this webinar are really the 7 most common home selling mistakes that are literally going to steal equity out of your pocket. And we want to make sure that you understand what these mistakes are and that you don't make the same mistakes that other sellers have made in the past. And even I've made some of those mistakes in the past in homes that I've sold. 2 pricing mistakes that real estate agents often make. Some things that you need to know about selling your home in Weber and Davis County for top dollar. You want to be careful when you're talking to a real estate agent. You do not want to be talking to a real estate agent that's out of Salt Lake County or out of Utah County because they don't know this marketplace. This is a little bit different. There are things that buyers are looking for in this market that will get you top dollar that an agent down south just may not know about. And what 10 questions you need to ask a real estate agent before you actually let them into your home. There are some things, these are questions that I would ask every single agent to make sure that they are qualified and expert enough to be able to sell your home and actually get you the most money out of your home possible. And the last thing is how to know which fix-ups will get you the most bang for your buck, and what costly fix-ups that you can avoid that will actually waste your money because they really won't help your home sell for top dollar at all. And we want to kind of stay away from those. And sometimes those are the ones that we talked about earlier. They're on the honeydew list, and they just don't make any sense to spend money on that because when the buyer comes through, that's not what they're going to notice. Now, who am I? I'm Shane Thorpe. I am with Fusion Realty Group. I became an agent back in 2000, so I've been kind of doing this quite a long time. And what I realized is when I got into the business is I really realized that every single city is unique and every area is unique, every county is unique. And so this is particularly true, and I learned this really quick, was when we had appraisers that would come in and appraise properties, and they'd come out of Logan, and then they would appraise a home that was selling for $320,000, and the home down the street, almost identical, sold for about $320,000, and the appraiser's thinking it's not worth that much because he lives in Logan. And so every neighborhood's unique. You need to be able to understand what's going on in the neighborhood, in the city, in the county, so that you can make sure you're getting the most dollar out of it as possible. If you want to sell your home for top dollar, you got to know how each of these specific markets work. And in the 18 years I've been doing this, there are certain things that you want to do to get top dollar out of it. And this has worked pretty well for us. We actually hold contracts with Chase and Wells Fargo, SWBC, Flagstar Bank, and things like that. They come to us, they ask us to give them an accurate reflection of value, and because they trust what we've done and how we look at things. We also exclusively focus on Weber and Davis County in the real estate market. And as the editor of the Weber Davis Community Newsletter, this is just a consumer's guide to help keep you educated and help you understand how the market's working and what's going on in it. Now, over the years, we've been doing a lot of things right, and it makes a big difference. We've actually flipped over 200 homes in the last 18 years, and so we understand picking up a home from absolute junk to turning it into something beautiful, like you see on the flip or flop type home shows, or the those HGTV shows, people fixing up homes and flipping them. We've done a lot of that. We've done a lot of things right. Unfortunately, we have done a lot of things wrong too. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to give you kind of the heads up of some of this experience that we've gathered after doing this for 17 years. And here's a couple things that we've really learned. This would be right like on the top of our list. Number one is buyers don't buy the best home. They buy the best presented home. Number two, real estate agents will come in and they'll say, look, here's the comparable data. Your home's going to sell for this, and this is what it is because of what your competition is. Buyers don't compare homes against data, they're not looking at what the home down the street really sold for. What they are doing, what they're comparing against, is what your competition looks like, and they don't really care what the home is selling for. They care about what it looks like. There are 2 to 3 key things that can make a difference in selling your home for top dollar, and selling your home for top dollar can be easy if you know how it compares to the competition and present it correctly. Any homeowner can sell their home for top dollar. We've learned what works, what doesn't work, and we're so confident in that we actually have to issue a guarantee on people that we help sell their homes. If we do not get asking price for your home, we'll just pay you $2,000 out of the closing. That's how confident we are that we will get the asking price for your home. I discovered this really the hard way, and what you're going to get today is you're going to get the cheat sheet for selling your home for top dollar, and you're going to get the easy way. So we're going to show you how to do it. We're going to explain it to you, what some of the tips and tricks are, and we'll get into this so we're not spending all evening talking about it. So the hard way. Some of the things that we've learned over the years is underpricing a home and leaving equity on the table is the biggest mistake that any homeowner can make. And this is most common for sell by owners. From a real estate position, a real estate investor, and somebody that buys real estate and fixes up, sells it, the for sell by owner is my favorite competitor, or my favorite person to buy from, because they typically underprice their home because they're going to places like Zillow, or gathering up some neighbors' opinions of what they think things sell for, and we end up doing pretty well in for sell by owners. That having been said, what we want to do is show you ways to make sure you don't leave any money on the table. Having a bad experience with a real estate agent, especially if they try to price your home blind based just on recently sold comps, that's a formula for disaster. You need to make sure that the price reflects what your home's true value is and how the buyer is going to see it and what they're going to offer for it. Overpricing the home, forced into multiple price reductions, what that happens is, if you actually overprice your home, this is really the hard way to do it. If I always liken it to this, in some sense, the world of real estate is not too far off of the real world of buying milk. At the end of the day, if you were going to go buy milk and you look at a brand of milk, whatever that brand of milk is, and it's on sale for $2 a gallon, but you open up a store and you want $3 a gallon, well, you're never going to sell it for $3 a gallon because all the competition is $2.50 a gallon, unless you have something truly extraordinary about the milk. And you still can't get it. Some people will think that they can get top dollar of their home, and they completely overprice their home so far that nobody looks at it, nobody wants to buy it, nobody wants to consider it because it's so far over. And then they start doing price reductions. As soon as you start doing price reductions, the message it sends to the marketplace is that there's something wrong with your home. So it's really important that we kind of get it right going straight into the offer when you put your home on the market, that you get it right out, get the price and the pricing right out of the gate, and you don't start too high and start creating a problem for yourself by bringing these multiple price reductions. And what that does is invites really the bottom feeders to come out. If they see you, if you started $30,000-$40,000 too high in your home and you're on the market 45-50 days, the bottom feeders are saying, oh, there's something wrong with the home, we're going to throw you a really low offer. And they're hoping that you're starting to get desperate enough that you'll take it. And now you're looking at what you need to get out of your home, not what you want to get out of your home. Spending money on fix-ups and expensive remodeling projects that don't raise the value of your home is a huge costly mistake. Just don't do it. There are things that you may have been wanting to do, remodel, and work on for years, and that is really not going to get you the dollar for dollar out of your home. Typically, like kitchens, kitchen updates and kitchen remodels, you get almost dollar for dollar. But you've got to think about that for a minute. When I say dollar for dollar, that means if you spend $5,000, you'll get the $5,000 back. It doesn't mean that you always get $5,000 more. So you kind of got to be careful on what projects that you want to do. If you want to get all new moldings because that's what you wanted for a long time, that's not going to raise the price of your home, and that's not going to get you a better offer on your home. So those are kind of things that buyers are looking at. And don't wait for I hate to say the term lazy agents or other agents to help sell the home. You need to be proactive. You got to do something to do it. There's a lot more to selling a home than just putting it on the multiple list and putting up a sign. And you need to make sure you got watching out for those lazy agents. Not knowing the simple strategy of positioning best practices that causes buyers to shy away from a good home. And you need to know what the simple staging and positioning strategies are. Sometimes we've gone into homes and we've told people, look, you know what, you fall into the 30% rule, and they say, what is the 30% rule? 30% of your furnishings have to go to storage because the 3 couches in the living room is way overkill. There's just not enough living room left with 3 couches. So these are kind of things that we walk you through, and we want to make sure that you're not doing things in the home, have too much furniture in a home, or too many filling up a whole room with furniture so the room looks really small, and staging it properly and positioning things properly. For walk flows, we may come in and say, look, you need to move the couch from this side of the room to that side of the room so it has a good walking flow. It doesn't make the room feel cut up and things like that. So these are kind of things that we talk about, and so you don't have to do it the hard way and learn through people coming through and getting the feedback and saying, wow, what's wrong? Why didn't this work? And they say, man, that room felt really small. And you go into the room, yeah, well, with 3 couches in there, it's going to feel a little bit small. The 7 costly seller mistakes that we've identified are: mistake number 1, relying on the comps to sell your home. Buyers don't buy data; they buy what they see, and who your competition is down the street, what they're looking at. That's what they're buying, and that's what you're competing against. So, if they're not going to even compare comparables. So don't get all hung up on what the neighbor's home sold for down the street, because it may not even be a valid comparable. For example, one time we had a home that was right down the street, and the homeowner said, well, my home will sell for that $350,000. Well, the biggest difference between his home and that home was 500 square feet. Now that's 5 bedrooms. So there's going to be a little bit more money valued for 5 bedrooms. So he's not going to get $350,000 out of the home, but he could get maybe more 315, 320 because if he staged it properly and had the right things done, then he could get it. Think about how do humans buy when there are multiple options? They're buying the best option for their family and what fits them. And we are conditioned to compare one to the other, but you kind of got to compare apples for apples, not apples to lemons or apples to oranges. And we need to know what the buyer is comparing their home to. In this market, in any market really, it's what a buyer qualifies for, and that ends up being one of the limiting factors. So if the buyer's qualified for $450,000 for a home, then he's not going to be looking at your home if you're priced at $500 because he can't afford to buy it. So we're not going to worry about looking at what the 450 to and above homes are selling for. We're worried about what the 400 to 450 homes are selling for, and what other homes are selling for at the same time. You have to know what else is selling and how the house compares. This will show you how to focus, what to focus on when fixing up your home position in the marketplace. If we can identify your competition, the people that the buyer is looking at while they're looking at your home, who your competition is, what it looks like, this will help us focus. This is what helps us focus on what to do to make your home pop out and be the shiny penny, as it were, in that price range. Mistake number 2, again, we talked about this earlier, pricing the home too high. Remember, homes that sell fast sell for top dollar. And that seems really odd, but it's really true. I mentioned the home in the very beginning that we had listed down in Ogden. We were thinking 164.9. We listed at 169.9, and that was at the top end of its price range. And on that house, we actually had 4 offers that were above 167.5. So we did price it higher, but not too high. We got on that top edge of it. If you're on the market too long and you have to make a price reduction, this invites a frenzy of just these insulting low bottom feeders, because they sense like you're desperate or that you're needing to sell, and they just don't realize that you may have had poor advice going into it and just actually overpriced your home, way overpriced it, and you missed that top tier of your price range, and you violated that top tier and you went into another price range which your home just is not able to compete in. If that $164,000 home is not going to be able to compete in a $320,000 home market, there's nothing we can do to get it there. So I could price it $320,000, but it'll never sell for $320 because no matter what I do to it, I can't get it to that $320. It's just not a $320 home. It's not in the neighborhood. It's not in the marketplace. So you have to price the home we want to get to the top tier of your marketplace. Mistake number 3, waiting too long to prep for selling. This is the biggest mistake that sellers make, and they think that they have, wow, I'm going to sell my home, I need to start prepping it, and then they want to sell it next week, and they think, oh, I'm going to prep it now, and I'm going to call up and, hey, you have somebody come over and look at it and help me out with it. And if you're selling in the next 6 to 12 months, what you do right now could make the difference in thousands of dollars, because right now, if you're 6 to 12 months out, you've got some time to kind of get things in and get things lined up, especially if you have some things that need to be done that require subcontractors to come in. If you wait until you want to sell like in 3 months from now, we may not get the subcontractor in to do something vital that needs to be done to fix your home. And you may need a new roof, for example, and that could be the difference between people think a roof will cost $20,000 and it may only cost $8,000. But when a buyer's agent goes through and a buyer goes through, they think that's $20,000 and it really only costs $8,000, but it brings you $20,000 of value. But to get a roofer in inside of 2 to 3 months, that's a challenge. So if you have time and you need time to budget things and do things, that's a big expense that we're talking about there, but that's one of the things that you could do. Or if you're going to paint some rooms and things like that, if you want to do it yourself, it's good to have the 5 or 6 months to get things going and get them ready. And especially if you're going to be buying another home. So if you're feeling rushed and you're trying to get into another home and you still have things to do in your home, it makes it particularly difficult. So don't wait too long to start preparing to sell, and know what needs to be on that list. And what you do in the months before you put your house on the market will really determine how long your house will take to sell, how much money you'll get for your house, and how easy or difficult the selling experience will be. Things end up taking longer than you expect. You don't want to be selling from a must-sell now desperation. You want to be selling from a, hey, I'm comfortable where I'm at, my house looks great, I'm going to get top dollar for it, and I've done all my preparation along the way. So don't make the mistake of waiting too long to prep for your sale. Now, mistake number 4, losing money on costly remodels. When selling your home, focusing on the lipstick will do more for the sellability factor on your home than the expensive remodeling projects. And I've had people say, man, I really want to do an addition. We could get more money on the addition. You won't. But, you know, painting a bedroom or painting the room that is pink or blue then to a neutral gray, that will make a huge difference in what you're going to get. Something as easy as that, or you know, replacing the faucet that's been on its last leg for the longest time, that will make a big difference. So a little $45, $50 faucet replacement, or a couple $100 and some paint, that's gonna make a big difference. The last thing you need to do is sink money into expensive remodeling projects or upgrade projects that don't really raise your home selling value. And the best example of this is that every home has a bathroom, and the bathroom looks great and functional. Don't say, I want to tear it out and make it a brand new bathroom, because you're not going to get your money back out of that. But you could actually replace a cabinet in the bathroom for $300 or $400 and some labor, and upgrade your bathroom just that way, and it changes the whole look of the bathroom. So there are things you can do that could do it. So know what your competition is providing, and you need to focus on the things that you can win at. And besides the lipsticks, you really need to focus on the curb appeal. I can't tell you how many times buyers simply ask to keep driving while still on the street. And so what happens is we come up to a house, and the seller gets really upset. They say, man, why didn't you come in and show the house? Why didn't you show our house? And I said, well, because my buyer, we drove up, and he said, don't slow down. So your curb appeal is critical, and getting the home looking good from the outside and having that warm, inviting feeling and knowing what to do in your yard is absolutely critical. And we're happy to help walk you through some of those things. It seems simple, and simply stated, flowers and things like that, small shrubs, things like that can help curb appeal in the home. And these are things that you just don't want to lose money on, because your home looks drab, tired, old, and looks like it's not warm or appealing. So we want to make sure that when buyers come by the front of the home, that they're wanting to walk into the home. Mistake number 5, not removing your personal items. Your home is a place of warmth, comfort, and memories, but that's your memories, and we don't want buyers to feel like they're invading your space. So there is a fine line between too much of your personal stuff and having some personal stuff. And we want to make sure that they can see their photos in your home and see their life in your home, and not see memories of your life in the home. And so there's some things like that we want to kind of we want to kind of walk you through and help you walk you through, and kind of minimize some of that. They need to easily see themselves actually just living there. An easy way to start to stage your home right now is to remove a majority of the personal items and place them, if needed, with neutral items. And clutter, especially for your kitchen countertops, bathroom countertops, door entries areas, and things like that. One of the worst things you can have is like the microwave, the mixer, the toaster, all on your countertops, because when you do that, it just says there's no space. Your kitchen is small. But if you take those items, put them in a cupboard, put them in a closet, and free up the countertops, it makes it look really spacious and large. Bathrooms, the same thing. If you got your toothbrushes, your hairbrushes, your makeup, and all the stuff spread out over the countertop on the bathroom, that's something you do now. You just put it away, put it in a drawer, make sure those counters are nice and clear. Don't make it so people, when they walk in your entryway, are tripping over stuff. You don't want it to You don't want too hot personal, you don't want too cold empty, but there is that Goldilocks effect we're looking for, that just right. And we want it to look like it's being lived in, that it is a family that's there. And there are cultures that do like family stuff. They like to think this is a family home because it has a good feeling to it. So you don't want to go too far on the one direction, but you need to move away from the other direction that you might be in. Mistake number 6 is using lousy photos. This is probably the number one violation that I see anywhere. And it's interesting because most home buyers start out on the internet, and buyers that are even 6, 12 months out in the marketplace are actually looking at the internet, and they're comparing what one home looks like on the inside to what another home looks like on the inside. And one of the worst things that happens is that an agent goes in with his smartphone or his iPhone and he starts snapping pictures, and and sometimes those pictures are okay, but if you're online looking at these pictures, and sometimes you're looking at going, what is that exactly? And I've seen so many homes that have looked lousy in the pictures, but when I ended up visiting them, they were incredible homes. There was actually one home that I went into just the other day, and it actually looked like it had pink walls, and I'm going, oh man, this is going to take a lot of paint and a lot of work to get this thing down. I went into the home, and they weren't pink. It was just a really bad camera taking the pictures, and they had cast this pink hue on the entire house, on the interior, and it was actually fairly neutral. So the picture was just killing this agent's listing. This is one detail that will make a massive difference in how many buyers will decide to visit your home. So you want to have professional pictures taken, and you're just going to spend a little money to do it, but they make a world of difference so buyers can actually see what a home, and these are professionals that have nice cameras and have the equipment to generate a nice picture for us. And a buyer, we don't want the buyer to have to come visit your home to make, to decide if it's a good place. They're actually already out there picture shopping, so we don't want to lose out on buyers that are picture shopping online. We want to make sure we give them the best picture possible. Number 7, being present during showings. This probably should have been the number 1 mistake, and I get it. You feel like your stuff is important, and maybe you're concerned about people rummaging through your stuff. If you have stuff that you're worried about rummaging through, put it away, lock it up, lock it away, and that's number 1. 2 is that if you're sitting there in the home, buyers are easily frank, open, and honest with the real estate agent because it's not personal for the agent. So they'll give agents honest feedback, which can be very helpful in selling your home for quick and top dollar. We can actually get some good feedback sometimes the buyers will come through and they'll say the same thing 2 or 3 times, and it's something that's easily remedied on our part from a selling position. But if you're in the home watching them, they're not going to say anything, and they're actually very uncomfortable, and they actually walk through the home very quickly. And again, it goes back to the previous one. The worst thing you can be outside of your own personal, all your family pictures on every wall and all of your personal stuff everywhere, is you personally there, because they feel uncomfortable, and they won't be able to have that personal feeling, and they feel like they're invading your space literally, and they're quickly in, they're quickly out, and they will not buy. They won't buy your home. So buyers are hesitant, they're hurried, and it'll kill their interest. So leave. Let them have the space. Let them start being able to picture their lives in your new home. Don't be present during showings. It's the kiss of death. The two pricing mistakes that agents can make. Here's pricing mistake number 1: using just comps and data. And this is kind of a little bonus outside the 7 mistakes, but when you're pricing your home, a lot of folks go out and they ask an agent to give them a market analysis, and they'll just call them up and the agent will just email them something over without ever having walked into their home. And I would never buy a car, a home, or a high-ticket item without having walked into it, sat in it, or felt it, or done something with it. People buy homes from a feeling. There's no internet there's nothing on the internet today that can actually give the people a feeling when they walk through the home to gather space and gather what it looks like. And an agent that doesn't walk into your home and doesn't consider everything in your home and the things that you put into it to make it better, and just price on internet data alone is not enough. And they're kind of they're kind of guessing what a good selling price would be. But what's just as important in pricing your home as the recently sold comparables is the quality, the amenities, the features of the homes selling within 3 to 5 miles of your home. When you list your home on the market, remember, home buyers are comparing you to competition. So we need to be looking at what is the competition have. And the recent one I had over in West Kaysville, it's a $550,000 listing, and there's a home that sold almost identical to it. The biggest difference was it had an outbuilding, about $30,000 outbuilding, and so they sold the home for $584,000, and that you have to consider that. And why it was getting more money was because of that $35,000-$40,000 outbuilding, but only the cost of the outbuilding. So you've got to look at what the amenities and features and the quality of the home, in addition to just what the selling prices are. There's some homes in your neighborhood that you've seen them that are actually just pigsties and they sold for nothing, and you don't want an agent telling you that because of that home your home was worth less. That's simply not true. Pricing mistake number 2 that real estate agents make, they fall back onto the appraiser mentality. And what the appraiser mentality is that what a home sold for in the past is what the value is. And in today's market, where the market's appreciating at 8-10% a year right now, nationwide, and especially in our markets, what a home sold for in the past is good to know, but it's not what your home is worth. And yeah, this will factor into what kind of offer the buyer will make on your home. But looking at sold homes is looking only in the rearview mirror, and it completely neglects any factor of getting top dollar. Because if I'll give you another example, is I would love to have bought a home 6 months ago because it was 6% less. I would love that. And appraisers are looking at homes that sold 6 months ago and saying, well, that's what the value is, and that's what some agents are looking at. For us, when we're looking in the rearview mirror, we only want to be looking at what's happening in the last 30, 60 days, because the market's appreciating so fast. But more importantly, we need to know what's under contract right now, what sold yesterday, and what does it look like, and what are its features, and what are its amenities, and what makes it different. And when you put your home on the market, because you're competing against 3 homes versus 15 homes, makes a big difference. And so how many homes are selling when you put your home on the market is huge, and it's going to affect how we price it. If there are 20 homes available in your neighborhood, then our pricing strategy might be different. But there's only one other home available in your neighborhood, then our pricing strategy is going to be much more aggressive and working on getting you top dollar. So just keep in mind. Now, 10 questions to ask any agent before you invite them into your home. Get your pencil out right now. I know you probably had it out the whole way through. Here's the 10 questions that I would ask any agent before I even invite them into my home, and make sure that they have a good answer for me on these. Question number 1: in which neighborhoods, towns, cities do you specialize in, and do you have a proven success recently? Have you had any proven success recently in my area? What you don't want to do is find the agent that's doing this part-time, and they've got their day job and they're kind of dabbling in real estate. That is not the person you want in a rapidly appreciating market. You need somebody that is up to speed, knowing what's going on right now in your city, your town, your county. Again, that's where we specialize, Weber Davis County. And you got to have success records. They got to be able to show you that they're getting top dollar for homes. And that's, a little bit of, it's not unfair to ask, hey, what were your last 3 sales? And how many sales did you have in the last 30 days? How many of those were in the last, how long was it in the last, since you had your last sale? So that important questions. You got to make sure that they have a highly visible online marketing strategy to ensure that your home will stand out. The MLS does a little bit of the work, but there are over 600 plus websites out there, and an agent needs to be doing something to get into and onto those 600 plus websites. And those kind of things cost money, so a lot of agents don't do it, and they don't even want to talk about it. But you need to get the highest visibility online. It's interesting. People are looking at homes in the most interesting websites that I've never heard of that are coming through our marketing syndication and some of these 600 sites. And I'm just amazed that I've said, wow, that's a real estate site. But we're on that. We're on those sites because we're paying for that type of syndication. The other thing is that make sure that in their marketing strategy that they're on Facebook. There's only 1.8 billion users on Facebook, and if they're not doing something to actively market to likely buyers, then your home's not going to stand out, and they're not targeting people on Facebook. You're missing out on a huge market share there. 3, do you have a network of trusted professionals who can help me sell my home? Put them on the spot and ask them for a name of an inspector, a home cleaner, a handyman. And when you've got things to get done and fixed in your home, or you're trying to get things ready to sell, you've got to have trusted people that you can bring into the home and can get the work done properly at an affordable rate. What you don't want to do is get hung out on here's 3 people. If I'm going to give you a name of somebody, I'm going to give you somebody that I'll bring into my home and use them because I trust them, I've used them, and I value their opinion, and I value what they do, and I know that they're fair on price. And it would be somebody I use in my own home and in my own business. So if an agent's going to say, "Oh, I'll give you 3 or 4 people to call," that's really not the right guy to be talking to, because he's not using those types of services, and he does not have a relationship with them. Ask them, are you full-time or part-time? We talked about this a minute ago. I just can't emphasize enough, if you do this full-time, it's the difference between a professional negotiator and a part-time gambler. So if you're looking for a part-time gambler, somebody that's going to take a chance, you want to take a chance on somebody, find the part-time guy. But if you want somebody that's a professional, they're making a living out of this, and they're full-time, and they're doing this 100%, and they know what's going on. This is a full-time job. Real estate is not a part-time, call it in from, phone it in type of job. This is a 100% full-time, and the market's moving so fast, and things are changing so fast with financing, legal, everything's changing so fast. You have to be full-time just to stay on top of it. Ask them do they have a proven system for attracting qualified, ready-to-act buyers for homes like your own. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that they have some way of drawing in those buyers and bringing them into you, and having them respond and capture those potential buyers so that we can get them into looking at your home. And number 6, when clients are unhappy with your service, what has gone wrong? And is there really such a thing as a 5-star rating? And I love this. I was talking to a Google guy, and he says, well, you have to get all 5-star ratings, and if you don't, then you need to go, and the ones that aren't 5-star, you need to get rid of them or find a way to get people to change them. And to me, I don't think there is such a thing as a real 5-star rating. I mean, we're human. So how can you have a 5-star rating all the time? There's just no way. You can't put humans together and not have something go wrong somewhere sometime. And there's things that have gone wrong. There's things that don't go as smoothly as you like them to go, and that would affect your rating. What you're looking for is somebody that's real and honest. And with us, we have a lot of happy clients, and we have a couple unhappy ones. And whether that's a communication error or a service error or whatever it is, we've always done our best to rectify it, but we're not perfect either, and we don't believe there's a 5-star rating. But you got to be able to have somebody that's going to be honest with you about things that are happening, because again, we are human. We are dealing with we're dealing with people, and people. We get along with most all the people, but we're not always going to go along with all the people. And that's what it is. That's what life is. If everybody could be my best friend, that'd be awesome, but it's unrealistic. Number 7, what services besides negotiation and escrow do you provide? You want to know what they're doing. You want to be able to ask them, are you going to help me find a photographer? Are you going to help me get this fixed? Are you going to help me get this on Facebook? Are you going to do advertising on Facebook? Are you going to do marketing on, how many websites do you reach out to? What do you do on signs? What do you do on flyers? Do you do an open house? Do you do what kind of marketing, what kind of things do you do besides just negotiating? Now, not to downplay negotiating, because that's where the real rubber hits the road. But you got to get something in your hand to negotiate. And once you're negotiating, are you really a strong negotiator that you claim to be, and do you have the track record to prove it as well? How long have you been selling real estate? There are some guys that have come out, and I've mentored and trained a number of real estate agents that have just come right out of the gate, and they are phenomenal. They're incredible negotiators. They're great marketers. They may have started 6 months ago, but man, they're hitting it out of the park. And then there's other people that have had their license for 5 years and haven't done anything. They've sold 2 homes, and it was to their brother and their father. So you just need to know how long they've been doing real estate, but also what they do in real estate, and are they really selling real estate? Number 9, what type of communication should I expect from you? This is really good to get on the front end when you talk to an agent, because if the agent says, "Well, we send you an email every week," well, that may not be what you're looking for, and we want to make sure that you're getting the kind of communication that you want to get, and so you want to identify that you're all on the same page on how that communication should go and what it should look like. Number 10 is how do you plan on pricing my home? And does the agent offer a guarantee for getting you the asking price? Does he offer any type of guarantee? Asking price or better, and he's willing to pay you if he does not perform? Does he? This is kind of the old. Are you willing to put your money where your mouth is? So how do you plan on pricing my home? And how are you going to get there? We've kind of spent a lot of time on that and kind of worked that one to death. So what we've covered so far, we've covered the 7 common home selling mistakes that steal equity. We've covered the 2 pricing mistakes real estate agents often make. We've talked about what you need to know about selling your home in Weber, Davis counties for top dollar. We've given you the 10 questions to ask any agent before you actually invite them into your home. And so let me ask you a question. Over the past hour, we've talked a lot about things, but would you agree it's been time well spent so far? And obviously, we can't cover everything you need to know in an hour, even if we had all day. So as a free service that's available to Weber and Davis County homeowners, so you can get everything you need to know, what we've developed is a way that we can help you, the homeowner, be ready to sell your home and get top dollar for it. And how we do this is we do this with what we call a home selling score. And what we do is we come into your home and we want to kind of take a look at it from the buyer's viewpoint, and give you a kind of a punch list, as it were, of things that need to be done so that you can be that homeowner that was in Farmington this last 2 weeks ago that we listed her home at $239 and she got a $250,000 offer on. And what we want to do is we actually come in, we do a competition audit. We'll analyze who your competition is in a 3 to 5 mile radius, so you'll know how to position your home to sell. We'll give you a fix-up review. We'll go room by room, and we're going to review everything in your house. We're going to provide you a punch list of fix-ups that will get you the most bang for your buck, and which remodeling projects that not to waste your money on. And let's have a really honest conversation with you. You can talk to us about what your thinking is, what your plans were, and we'll have an honest conversation with you from a buyer's point of view, what they're going to see and what they're not going to see. We're going to actually, at the end, we actually give you a home sale score. We have a form that we go through and we complete it, and everything kind of gets a rating and kind of gets a grade, as it were. And once we add up this grade, we'll rate all your amenities, all your features, the home conditions like the roof age, the siding, the paint job, all these things. And we're going to put this into this home sale score, and we give your house a score of how competitive it is to the other marketplace. Now, what we're really looking for is, if at all possible, you want a home selling score of 85% or better. And if you're under 85%, we want to get that 85% because that's what's going to get you that $250,000. Get you that extra $10,000 over and above the asking price, and that's what we're trying to get. Homes with a score of 85% more, they sell quickly and they get top dollar. You'll be able to know exactly which fix-ups will spend money on and which ones will get you the biggest bang for your buck. You'll have a list of things, give you that punch list, get your home ready, that you know what will make a difference for your home buyers, and they'll see your home as the shiny penny when they're comparing it to other homes in the area. And how exactly to get to that home selling score of 85% or better, we're going to show you and give you that punch list of what things need to be changed, and explain to you why that is, and the thought process that goes behind it. And this way you'll have confidence in knowing that your home is now positioned, when you're ready to sell, that you're now positioned to get top dollar for your home. You'll be able to get rid of, there's a lot of things you'll be able to get rid of. Wasting money on expensive repair or remodeling projects that won't make a difference to selling your home. You're not being prepared properly when you go to market. We want to make sure that you don't get stuck with a stale listing that attracts the bottom feeders, and we want to make sure that you don't have any stress or anxiety about whether you did everything you could to make sure you got as much money as possible. What we won't want to do is make sure you didn't leave money on the table. We've done everything. We've looked at everything, and everything that's possible within reason, within your budget, to get you as much money out of the house as possible. That we've done that. And the home selling score, so basically it's the three things. It's the competition audit. Know what your competitors are doing, because buyers will compare you to the neighbor down the street, the homes that sell down the street. They will give you a fix-up review, and we'll explain to you what to spend money on, what is going to get you top dollar, where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck, and where not to spend your money. We are in real estate full-time. We do run the real estate business. We can't go around doing home selling scores for everybody every day, because obviously we are selling homes, and we are negotiating and helping our clients out every day, and we try to maintain good service and good communication with them. So this is a service that we do provide. So what we do, we limit this to 5 per week, and because we do need to take care of our current clients, so we do have a limit on this, but we would like to offer those on the webinar today. If you are interested in a home selling score, that you could actually go and you can actually, we'll come into your home, we'll give you the home selling score. There is no cost to this. This is a free service that we do offer. It is first come, first served. So once we've got the 5 spots filled, we are done for the week. So make sure if you get one, then that's those spots, and those are the ones you get. And there's actually specific times in the calendar that we set aside to do these home selling scores, and they're pretty set, and it's a set appointment. We'll be there at that time. Now let me show you what you need to do next to get to the home selling score. What you're going to need to do is I'm going to put up the offer right now, and it's going to take you to this page, www.soldforcash.com, free score. Pick available time on the calendar, fill in the details on that page, and then you'll receive a confirmation call within 24 hours. There are only a limit of 5 per week. If you have any questions, you can always reach us at 385-999-8990, or email us at fusionrealtygroup@gmail.com. And I'd like to tell you guys thank you very much for your time.